You think medieval castles were just big piles of stone, right? Cold, damp, and primitive. Well, what if I told you that you've been looking at them all wrong? These fortresses were actually marvels of engineering, packed with hidden genius that would make a modern architect jealous. Stick around, because we're about to unlock the secrets behind these stone giants, and trust me, you'll never see them the same way again. Welcome back, history lovers. Today, we're peeling back the layers of time to reveal the incredible intelligence built into every single stone of a medieval castle. Let's start with the most obvious feature, defense. Castles weren't just built to look intimidating. They were sophisticated war machines designed to withstand a full-blown siege. Take the location. Castle builders were masters of terrain. They didn't just plop a castle down anywhere. They chose high ground, like a steep hill or a rocky cliff. Why? It gave them a commanding view of the surrounding countryside, allowing them to spot an approaching army from miles away. This high ground also made it incredibly difficult for attackers to haul heavy siege equipment, like battering rams and catapults, uphill. Right from the start, the terrain itself was the first line of defense. Now, let's talk walls. You see these massive, thick stone walls and think, okay, hard to break. But the genius is in the details. The walls were often built in concentric circles. Imagine an onion. You have the outer wall, then an open area called the outer bailey, and then an even stronger, taller inner wall protecting the keep, the heart of the castle. If an enemy breached the first wall, they weren't victorious. They were trapped in a kill zone, a shooting gallery where archers on the inner walls could rain down arrows from a protected, elevated position. It was a deadly trap. And the walls themselves weren't just flat surfaces. Look at the base. Many castles feature a sloped base called plinth or batter. This wasn't just for style. It served two brilliant purposes. First, it made it nearly impossible to place ladders against the wall securely. Second, when defenders dropped rocks from the top, the sloped base would cause the projectiles to ricochet outwards, scattering unpredictably into the ranks of the attackers below. It was simple, but brutally effective. Let's move on to one of the most iconic features, the drawbridge and the gatehouse. The entrance was always the weakest point of any fortress, so castle designers poured all their ingenuity into securing it. The drawbridge wasn't just a simple wooden ramp. It was a heavy, counterweighted barrier that could be raised quickly, cutting off access over the moat. But the real star of the show was the gatehouse. This wasn't just a gate, it was a multi-layered death trap. As attackers tried to break through the first gate, they'd find themselves in a narrow passageway. Above them were holes in the ceiling, nicknamed murder holes. Through these, defenders could drop boiling water, hot sand, quicklime, or heavy stones on the trapped soldiers. And if they somehow survived that and broke through the first gate, they were often met with a second, or even a third, heavy iron gate called a portcullis. The gatehouse was designed to grind an assault to a halt. Now, what about the defenders shooting back? They couldn't just lean over the top of the wall. That would make them easy targets. This is where loopholes, or arrow-slits, come in. You've seen them, those narrow vertical slits in the castle walls. From the outside, they present a tiny target for an enemy archer. But on the inside, the wall was splayed, creating a wide field of fire for the defender. This allowed them to shoot arrows at various angles while remaining almost completely protected. It was an ingenious solution that maximized the defender's safety and effectiveness. And let's not forget the towers. Towers weren't just for show. Placing them at the corners of the walls eliminated blind spots. From a square tower, you could shoot straight ahead and to the sides. But the real innovation was the round tower. Attackers using a battering ram would have a hard time getting a solid hit on a curved surface. The force of the blow would often be deflected. Plus, round towers offered a 360-degree view and better angles for archers to cover the entire length of the adjacent walls. So, as you can see, a medieval castle was far from a simple stone structure. It was a complex, integrated defensive system where every single element, from the choice of location to the shape of the towers, was meticulously planned. These architects and masons were true masters of military engineering, using physics, geometry, and a deep understanding of human psychology to create fortresses that could withstand the most determined attacks. The next time you see a castle, don't just see a ruin. See the genius, the innovation, and the incredible story of survival etched into its very stones. I hope you enjoyed this deep dive into the hidden genius of medieval castles. There's so much more to explore, from the daily life inside to the clever water systems they used. If you found this fascinating, please hit that like button and subscribe for more adventures into history. Let me know in the comments which castle feature you think is the most clever. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.